I definitely admire and appreciate how creative Revenge is a Dish Best Served 3 Times is. But in terms of enjoyability, I didn't really love it. It doesn't seem to be the general opinion. It's got 7 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a pretty good rating for The Simpsons, particularly for season 18. This is the 11th episode of the 18th season, directed by Mike Frank Polcino. And various characters tell stories all about revenge. And there's the Count of Monte Cristo, Revenge of the Nerds, and Batman. Being a Batman fan, I did kind of enjoy the visual aspect of Bart as Batman. I rather liked that. Lisa's story I actually did enjoy, and that was about, well, nerds getting revenge on the bullies, and I liked how that played out, and I thought it was okay. The first story, the one Marge was telling, I didn't really love too much. I didn't mind the scenes underwater, but that was very brief and didn't last very long, but everything else I just didn't care for. However, with the exception of Treehouse of Horrors, it is generally the case that I'm not the biggest fan of the Simpsons episodes that try to be a bit too much, that try to break the mold too much and offer something that's a little bit too creative. Now, as I said, I praise it for being creative. It's very well done. And if that is your kind of episode, if you like the ones where we have, different locations, different time periods, the characters taking on different versions of themselves, if you like that, then I think you'll like it. And as I said, the nerd story I actually did really enjoy. But the rest of it wasn't for me. But I don't think it's a bad episode if it's your style. The pacing was good, very well animated, very creatively animated, very well edited. I think I would have liked them to cut back to the car, because in present day they're driving in the car and they tell the stories as they're driving or as Homer's driving. And I definitely would have liked it to have cut back to the car a little bit more, to have some more commentary or even voiceover commentary with, pausing the action on the screen. I think that could have worked well a bit more. But again, these are things that would have made it more interesting for me because this is not my style of episode. So I'm prepared to admit that it's probably not the episode's fault. I like the fact that the 3 stories were all different depictions of different kinds of revenge. They all kind of aimed to show that revenge has its problems. And I feel like it was very creative, and each story within itself, each story developed well, each story had a good cast of characters, individually each was fine, and had they been, separately released specials or something, fair enough. But when I watch The Simpsons, there are certain things that I personally prefer. And with the exception of the Treehouse of Horror episodes, which are just amazing because they're spooky and creepy and I love them. With the exception of those, this isn't my style of Simpsons episode. I'd love to know what you think of it, if it's for you, or indeed if it's not your kind of episode, but you still liked it. But for me, if I were watching season 18 again, which I probably will at some point, it's definitely an episode that I might consider skipping.